Are you into meetings all day and night? Are you part of group discussions day in and day out? Please stop it. We're all getting it wrong, of course, most of us. So here are 5 effective principles to make sure you run the meetings in the most optimized manner, which will save you a lot of time. Hello everyone, this is Kapil Reddy, founder and CEO of Superly. So without any further ado, let's get into the topic. The reason why we need a proper effective meeting management is 3 obvious reasons. One thing, bad meetings will actually lead to lower morale. It will be less productive and you'll end up losing valuable resources. In a nutshell, we'll end up losing a lot of time. Unfortunately, time is something which we should value more than anything else. So the first principle which we have to see is make sure you set a proper agenda. As obvious as it might seem, unfortunately, you see a lot of meetings happening without any proper agenda. Like people are clueless. Like you keep getting these messages, right? Can we jump on a quick call? Can we schedule a meeting? But why? Make sure you stress on it. Make sure whoever is attending the meeting have a proper idea on what is the agenda. Because once the agenda is clear, I think most of you can be really focused on, okay, this is what we want to discuss. And this is going to be the outcome of the meeting. In this way, I think meetings can run in a much more faster and smooth process. For that reason, make sure agenda is set and everybody is clear about the agenda. And then that will eliminate all this guesswork, which will only lead to wastage of time and unnecessary use of your brain and resources. Second tip is make sure you have set time for your meetings and most probably try and run short meetings. Because if you run long meetings, your body will not cooperate with you. As per research, I think our brain requires a lot of oxygen and glucose to process a lot of information. So the longer you tend to run the meetings, it will only create a lot of fatigue and you'll not be able to focus. You'll be losing your focus. And I'm pretty sure all of you would have experienced the moment meetings run for a longer time, you just see a blank screen where people are just meddling with their phone or they're just getting distracted. They want to check their tabs. All these things happen. If you want to avoid that, make sure you're not running meetings longer. In fact, the ideal time is, this might actually surprise you, but the ideal time is only 10 to 18 minutes. So that's the time you require to allocate for your meetings. Simply put, just make sure meetings are run short and crisp, to the point, and the set agenda. Do not try and do lengthy meetings, because again, one more problem with meetings is long meetings is the fact that you're in meetings gives you a sense that you're actually working, but it may not exactly translate to work, and that can be a problem. So make sure the next time you're running meetings, it's properly timed and have a clear set agenda and then go accordingly. So coming to tip number 3, get everybody on the same page. In a nutshell, get everybody right. See, because the whole point of having meetings is to make sure we collectively get the intellect from each one of you who's taking part in the meeting, and then to manifest those ideas and get to one conclusion. For that to happen, you need to make sure everybody is on the same page so that they're not missing out on what exactly they want to communicate. And you're not missing out on some brilliant ideas from one of your colleagues or your batchmates or friends. So be very sure what is that everybody should actually focus on. Once this is clear, it will give you a lot more clarity and most of your efforts will actually go in that direction. In this way, you can leverage the potential of the entire team. And as you rightly know, teams are the one which is going to help you to achieve your maximum potential. As an individual, there is only so far you can go, but as a team, you can go as far as you can. And that is very, very important. Coming to the 4th tip, what you could do is sequence your meetings in such a way that there is a structure to it. At a macro level, what you could do is just make sure first you emphasize on what is that you're looking at. So what is the problem at hand? And only after that, go to the solution phase. Because in our urge to actually present the solution, we end up talking about the solution first. But unless there is a clear problem, there's no point in actually talking about solution. It'll only be a half-baked solution. So first and foremost, make sure everybody understands what the problem is and then get the discussion into the solution part. Another important thing is make sure there is only one person speaking at one time. Do not let others speak while somebody is talking. Again, I think a lot of us have a habit of cutting into the conversation. It's not like you'll do it on purpose. It's just that you have an urge to speak up, but hold back, listen to somebody completely and only then put up your point. And that's why we have all these tools which will enable you to raise your hand or all these things so that you will also get your chance and put forth your point. So that is very, very important. Last but not the least, the final tip is visualize your discussions. We can actually represent something visually. Like for example, no matter if you give like a lengthy 1-hour speech without any visuals, that can be boring, right? Of course, there are some extremely good orators who can probably grab your attention. But for majority of us, it's not possible. So for that reason, make sure you're visualizing whatever you're putting through. Rather than explaining just all about, in a theoretical way, make sure you use a whiteboard so that you can pen down your thoughts. You can tell, okay, this is how I am thinking, so that your visuals can actually come into life and everybody can easily understand what exactly you're trying to communicate. And from there, the discussion can be much more productive. And right now, again, thanks to remote, I think a lot of in-house meetings are not happening. But thanks to the pandemic as well, we have a number of advanced tools which are making it a lot more easy for us to collaborate in a remote setting as well. Like we're all used to Zoom meetings and other things, right? So make sure you pick up a tool which will actually help you to visualize whatever thoughts you have. Maybe draw, sketch, or annotate, or whatever it can be. The whole point is you need to communicate what you're trying to do in the most effective way possible. That is only possible by visualizing whatever you thought of discussing. So on a high level, I think these are the 5 most effective tips that can actually help you run meetings with much more clarity, thought process, and a clear direction towards the solution. Because that's what we're all meeting, right? There's a reason why you block your time and you want to get on a call with your fellow friends and teammates to make sure that intellect is being passed from each other. But as I told, we are getting the fundamentals wrong, which is the way we run meetings. So try and follow these things, and I'm pretty sure you'll have a significant difference. You will notice a significant difference. Again, as usual, I think what we practice is what we preach. I think this is something we've faced at Zoopily ourselves. And once we started implementing these simple tips, it made a significant difference. Because as I told, the most important thing we cannot afford to lose is the time of each resource. Because let's say, for example, there are 10 people in a meeting. Just imagine the kind of time you're losing by not giving a proper context. So it's not just one person's time, it's 10 person's collective time. And that can be super costly once you actually do the math. So do not get there and do not feel unproductive. For all those things to happen, make sure you follow these 5 tips. And we can guarantee you, once you get used to it, you will never go back to the old way of doing things. See, that's how life evolves, right? You need to keep challenging the status quo and just keep evolving and thriving. And make sure you pick whatever suits you. And this is one such thing which you'll 100% appreciate that you've actually known it. And you'll also regret that you haven't known it earlier. But better late than never. Just go do it and you'll see a significant difference. Thank you so much. As usual, please do like, subscribe, and comment on this. And do let us know in case you want us to cover something else. So see you next time. Hope you all have a great week. And thank you so much. Bye-bye.